too bright! I cannot see!
No, live, not light.
I still cannot see.
Oh. I can't help with that. This is the first time we recorded in a while.
Are we live?
We are live.
Hello, world!
The sadly belated.
We are...
listening to the song again. So.
I am Ari, the kind and benevolent dungeon master, who all love and adore and will buy treats for, and things like that.
Yes, so dungeon master.
Yes. I also played Darvan, our resident heel monkey.
Sun monkey.
He's offended by that. Luckily for you, Darvan cannot drop rocks on your head, and I am immune to him.
Darvan would have to be able to see you to do that.
Yes.
He's better than that too.
Well, we've managed to irritate him with every single person in our party.
Yeah, pretty much. Also tonight we have Michelle.
Hello! I play Inez, the resident fire starter, otherwise known as Trogdor the Burninator, otherwise known as our tiny dragon oracle, who starts random religions because she doesn't know how to social.
Mostly just one religion.
We have only been about halfway through this campaign. Give her time.
Truth. We also have Mia.
Hi, I'm Mia. I play Sorin, the dhampir druid, who last time was completely certain the party was... It was complex. In other news, he's about as socially successful as Ines. He is accompanied by the equally socially inept, but for various very obvious reasons, Cubla, the leopard, who is hungry and mainly just wants to eat.
I don't know, she shouldn't be too terribly hungry. It's not Horrell, the other one.
Hogdar. No. Holdar.
No. Different one. Anyways, brother of last time's obvious big bad, who's the real owner of the mansion, gifted her a bunch of meat, so she should be pretty happy. And not so hungry.
Paranoid.
And we also have Zeke.
Oi. I'm Zeke. I play Adin. He's our sorcerer.
Man of the shooty lightning and crossbows.
And of the door opening.
Our party tank.
I did that in one ruin.
And I think you should do it more. It's very entertaining.
It is quite entertaining. Our party tank is not here tonight. Zenra,
Which is okay, because
half-arc barbarian, is played by Tegan, but Tegan got called.
Who got called into work?
Yeah, it happens.
I suppose we can forgive her.
What?
I suppose we can forgive her.
Yeah. It's okay. It's a travel montage. You probably aren't going to require a tank.
And if we do, we have Cubla.
No smashy smash?
It depends
No
on how you
pancakes?
guys handle things.
Pancakes, though.
Delicious.
Cubla can do it one step better and just eat them before they're made into pancakes.
Do you know,
Cubla doesn't make pancakes. Cubla makes lunch.
There probably is an interesting texture different for pancake people when you're eating them. I can just picture her turning her head away from food, and she's like, I want it mashed to a pulp. I want people jelly. People jello. People jello salad. Last time, you guys finished your exploration of a mansion and ran into the obvious bad guy. And you had oh no, that was 2 sessions ago. You beat obvious bad guy, and then it was kind of a resolution episode where you dealt with obvious bad guy and his brother, and did lots of things, and delivered the soul stone.
And Inez continued asking him if he was bullshit.
Yeah, nobody wanted to actually sit down and interrogate obvious bad guy, though. It got kind of entertaining.
We did! We just never took the gag out.
Yeah, that's kind of important. You kept intimidating, and you kept glaring at him, but nobody actually gave him an opportunity to answer. It was sort of hilarious.
That's not important.
Even as I kept...
Sorin was afraid they were going to kill him, so he ran away.
Yeah, that was kind of entertaining, too.
Too busy growling at the other dude.
But I was really entertained as I kept, like, angling things towards interrogation, and then you guys were like, nah. And I'm like, okay.
Boring.
So, but you guys did get the information that you needed, because obvious bad guy's brother sent you a note with everything he managed to find out, and he'll deal with his brother with the High Council of Eladrin. Then you guys went back to talk to the blacksmith. You gave him some of your monies. Were rather nice. Oh, by the way, what is everybody's alignments? Since it got brought up the other day.
I think I'm true neutral.
Oh, I'm super chaotic good. That was never ever in doubt.
Sorin is true neutral.
Yeah,
it's the only alignment he could have.
Well, according to rules, but DM choice may say that you're leaning towards chaotic. I mean, to be fair, of everybody, Sorin is the least chaotic, probably.
No,
and
no,
Cubla is
really
for
chaotic.
Cubla is an animal.
But
it may come out over time that her alignment is different. But right now...
we may be discussing people's alignments.
Except Inez and I are both chaotic.
Yeah.
Let me see what Darvan's is.
Although, to be honest, I couldn't see discussing, depending on where my Firestarter activities go, discussing chaotic neutral with Inez, but, you know, she's trying to be good.
She's being her version of good.
Yep.
I may have to... Darvan is listed as lawful neutral.
That's funny at this point.
Well, I don't...
Yeah,
I may have to drop down the lawful, but I might take him out of neutral, because...
he's a good boy.
Yeah.
Our team is doing a good job of keeping him in line, of making him actually be responsible.
Well, no, he's...
We're not being responsible.
Actually, he's probably being less responsible in some ways, but his alignment may be changing just because of what's been going on. Most of the rest of you are already chaotic, so that works. Good job at playing to your alignment.
I knew that going in. I built something that was bizarre.
So
yeah, continue having Sorin be in line with Saerenrae. I have to remain.
Not necessarily. We can talk.
Well, also, you don't have to remain there, but it could be a fun plot point to have the connection sever for a while.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure
I don't
necessarily
think Saerenrae would, because she's enjoying it too much.
Oh, yeah, that is kind of canonical.
She has kind of been supporting it.
Egging it on.
A little bit, yeah. So, you guys find yourself at odds, because you've finished helping the blacksmith. I am so bad at names. I need to make a cheat sheet. So you finished helping him. I don't remember his name.
Surgor.
Surgor, yes. He is very grateful. He's gone back to blacksmithing stuff. The gold that you gave him will help him get started back up again, because he had basically sold almost everything in his shop except for a few material. He had even sold quite a few of his tools in order to get the funds to satisfy the blackmailers. So it gives him the ability to buy back some of the basics and start working again, and be able to afford, you know, not worry about going out of business until he can get stuff back up. Both him and his niece are very grateful. You're welcome to stop back in anytime you come past. After that, I don't know if you guys looked around to try and find something else, but even if you do, things are actually pretty peaceful right now. I mean, you've got your normal...
Because we haven't been in town very long.
Yeah, you only just recently got back in town. No, there's no nothing in the rumor mill. Nobody's really heard of any monster attacks or anything. People are keeping an eye. This is the town that's by the tower, right, where you left so and so.
Yes.
People are keeping an eye on that tower because they finally found out that it's a bunch of kobolds there.
Did so-and-so go and talk to him or something?
Huh?
After they found out, did so-and-so go talk?
Probably.
Like, we mean you no harm. We're merely worshipping the Unborn Great One or something. Whatever we call her.
Yep.
So...
thing.
I can see you guys having left maybe one of the signs of favor that you've gotten from somebody that you helped, having left it with so-and-so that he could use it if he needed it. Or
yeah.
maybe when he realized that the townspeople had realized that there were kobolds there, he went and had a quiet word with the lord of the town, who you had helped, and been like, hey, we mean no harm, we're just doing this thing. So he talked with the lord of the town, and so the townspeople have been watching the tower extremely closely, but nobody has gone out and, you know, gone on a rampage and attacked them or anything. They're just being very cautious. So the kobolds are being left alone. And in fact, as you're wandering around, not long after, you see a kobold in town. Not so-and-so, but one of the other ones. They've figured out a way to, like, show rank in the... I'll call it a religion, because that's how it's kind of being treated at this point. In the religion, they've figured out a way to show ranks. You know, so-and-so is among the top of the priesthood there, essentially. Even though he knows it's kind of a crock of shit. He plays along. But there are ways of indicating how high up they are, and judging by the robes and the badges that the kobold you see in the town, like the market area, he's one of the lowest ranking. He must be a new recent recruit. Every time you go, there's a few more kobolds than there was the time before, as word kind of gets around somehow. But there are a few more every time you go past. This one is out in the middle of the market, and people are kind of trying to stay out of his way. But he's going from person to person. If anybody catches his eye, he'll go up to them and talk to them.
Inez is so proud. She's so proud her bullshit has so much effect. Sorry.
And, give me just a second. Need a name change.
Man, I can't believe we started the Mormon Church of Kobolds.
Well, the funny thing that I was about to say is, if you guys get closer, you overhear him going up to somebody and going, "Hello, my name is Brog. Would you like to hear about the Church of the Dragon Priestess?
The Unborn Dragon. Let's go there.
The Church of the Unborn Dragon. And they're like, no, and he's like, oh, okay. Hello, my name is Brog. Would you like to hear about the Church of the Unborn Dragon? And yes, I may have had a little bit of the rhythm of, hello, my name is Elder. Yes, anyways. So he's going from person to person, and he actually even has a rough paper, a pile of papers that he's trying to hand out to people.
Inez would like to help him.
Okay.
Inez, because remember I made all that High Priestess gear from the dragon scales? So Inez looks around at everybody and goes, I feel bad for him. We made him believe in my bullshit, and now he's preaching my bullshit. We should at least create some bullshit for him to talk about. Can we, like, do that fairy fire thing, and I can be like, it's true, and hold the egg above my head again since it's still not hatched, because God knows how long dragon eggs take to hatch.
Darvan, as soon as you started talking, just kind of peeled off from the group and left.
Aiden followed.
It's like, Inez starts to say, and like everybody goes in different directions.
No, Aiden went in Darvan's direction, actually.
Inez is sad. You guys, you're leaving this
Sorin
poor
is still
kobold.
standing there. He looks awkward, but he is still there.
Inez just sighs.
I
I was trying to be.
Roll me.
Trying to be nice.
Roll me knowledge local.
No.
Who?
Yes.
Inez.
Give me a sec. I have to pull my stuff up again. Because I haven't put my skill set onto the all skills. And skills, let's give me my knowledges. I don't have any extra in it, but I do have a bonus anyway.
Yeah, that would work. These local people are kind of yokels. They'll be easily fooled.
If I roll a 20 on my performance check, you are going to laugh.
Or a 1.
Incoming 1.
You're gonna drop the egg.
Scrambled eggs.
You don't understand. The person playing Inez would cry if she dropped the egg. Alright, well, I think it works, so...
You can imagine that even just going up and talking to him would probably put him into ecstatic trembling.
What did he say his name was? Grok?
Frog?
Brog? Drog? I
Brog.
don't know, I closed
Brog.
it. Brog.
It's okay.
Brog works.
Yeah. Inez will, because her knowledge is so great, she will just come and be like, Grok!
Now, he hasn't met you, however, he has heard the tales of the chosen priestess coming from... There's beginning to be scripture for this, by the way. Long, flowery language. Currently written in Kobold, but they're translating it into Common, so that if they get new human converts, everybody can partake. So you come up behind him and do what?
Inez will be like, Inez is going to start by attempting to lie to him first. And be like, you're doing such a great job. It always makes me so happy to see, like, my acolytes out there doing their best work for the unborn dragon. I am going to attempt to bluff this shit.
I'm not even gonna roll against it because he turns around and you stand before him, well, below him, wearing this glittering, because you're still wearing the glittering armor?
Yep.
Priestess
I am wearing my full high priestess gear.
So you stand before him, and even if you weren't wearing the glittering, shimmering dragon scale robes, the description has been passed down now, described enough times that by your height, by the burned arms, by everything, he knows exactly who you are.
Oh, he's so cute. I feel so bad for him.
And his eyes just go wide.
He's so cute. I feel so bad for him.
And he drops down and basically prostrates.
Inez is like, oh, that's so
flattens
sweet.
himself to the ground in front of you. Prostrate.
Again, Inez is like, oh, that's so sweet.
And he's like, the chosen priestess of the unborn one. What brings you here, my lady?
Inez is like,
and he doesn't even know what to say. He is just stammering at this point.
Inez is like, I have come to help you with your mission, my child, and let me get me a good fly on this, please. It's a decent fly. It's a terrible roll, but it's a decent fly. So Inez flaps a couple feet in the air, so she's at least, more head height for everybody. Wow. Wow.
As soon as she leaps into the air, his eyes roll up in his head and he faints.
Inez was like, well, I was gonna tell them what a great job you were doing in our cause, but alright, I am going to roll a perform. This is going to go so badly. Please?
It says no.
Roll 20, can you?
It won't let me. Give me a sec.
Roll 20.
Hello?
Yay.
Roll 20. Can you do a thing?
Inez is just totally overwhelming the poor kobold acolyte.
I overwhelmed the poor kobold, but I am doing nothing for the bloody villagers.
He literally has passed out.
Okay, I would roll a stealth that Sorin tries to hide his
Nope.
face, but my roll 20 is dead. I had to close it entirely to do things and relaunch, so it's not happening.
So, with this roll, I'm going to say Inez attempts to leap up in the air, gets caught in her high priestess's robe, has to clutch onto the dragon egg to make sure it doesn't fall, then looks at everybody and goes, "You saw nothing," and flies away.
And luckily, the acolyte was unconscious.
Yep.
He's just so happy that you graced him with your presence. Whenever he wakes back up again.
Yeah. Inez was going to try and help, but because her party members don't want her to help...
Sorin was still there! She just never said anything!
Technically,
that is not helping.
Nobody even noticed. The villagers were just busy doing market stuff. They may have given you an odd look, but quite a few of them recognize you guys by now, and it's like, oh, it's the adventurers. They've helped us, but they're very weird.
Yep. Inez is still sad. She was trying.
The kobold regains consciousness, and only Sorin and Cubla are left. He gets up slowly, and he's like, oh, she disappeared like magic.
Sorin, actually, I can't say that. I need to roll a thing. If my roll 20 would ever left.
That's hilarious. I'm sorry. I didn't even think that was a thing that was about to happen. I was just like,
And he's going to go back. The story he tells will get inflated until you didn't walk up to him in the market. You appeared in a flash of flames and red-winged doves.
Oh my god.
And you disappeared the same way as you ascended into the heavens.
Oh my god.
The egg,
Inez would be...
the egg clutched in your hands and silver light shining out in every direction.
Inez is both pleased and upset that it didn't go the way she wanted it to. She was trying to help this poor thing, not confuse it more.
Oh no, she has made him even more of a convert than he was before. He will gladly suffer through any sacrifice for her and the unborn.
Inez is...
Alright there, Zeke.
Are you laughing at something else or at this?
Now that I've done this, does anybody else want to do anything stupid?
Well, Soren's working on doing something.
Yeah, I was going to see if I was going to roll a thing to see if Sorin ends up laughing at the and his oh my gosh, because he knows Inez.
Well, actually, I'm going to say that you only have a moment. And because he's probably going to run off in a moment, leaving his papers fluttering behind him to go back and tell the tale. So he wouldn't notice if you laughed or not. However, if you wanted to send a message back with him, you'd want to catch him. I don't know if you want to have him pass a message on to so-and-so.
I wouldn't have this kobold pass a message on to so-and-so.
Oh my god.
Totally, we're gonna send him with a message. What kind of thing would I need to roll?
You wouldn't need to. Just say that you're gonna catch him before he leaves and have him pass on a message.
Yeah. Soren's like, Brog, wait a minute.
What
So-and-so
is it, Grand Companion of the Priestess?
Can you pass a message to so-and-so? Tell him I am Sorin.
The great priest has spoken of you. He sounds very fond.
Unhappy plant. Unhappy.
Yeah. Is something the matter with your feline companion?
She's not thrilled.
Thrilled with what?
Nothing important.
Is he like, don't worry about it, she's just hungry.
Yeah. She's just hungry, like normal.
I can help the feline companion of the priestess. Hold on, I'll be right back. And he runs off.
Like, I did not get a word of that.
He runs off, and he comes back a moment later, just staggering under a pile of meat.
Cubla.
Where the hell did he get that meat?
Lunch! Lunch!
Let's just say that Grok has no money left. He spent it all.
Oh, baby.
So this is like 5 silvers worth of meat.
This is not what Inez wanted to happen here.
Sorin, as he passes by, just is like here, and hands him a gold.
Hey.
He doesn't take it. He just stares at you, eyes wide. No, I could not accept anything from a companion of the priestess. We live to serve
towards helping, the religion of the unborn dragon. Yeah, that's how that works. That's the name, right?
He seems torn for a moment and then accepts it, and he is very grateful. Well, actually, first he unloads the pile of meat because his arms are literally full. He has a pile bigger than he was able to carry because he's a fairly small kobold.
I'm so excited.
He's like a kobold runt. And so he unloads the meat. And he is like, "Here, great feline companion of the priestess. Gift for you."
Cubla walks up and head bumps him.
He falls over. I told you, he's quite small.
Yes.
And he's
She's
like...
purring really happily.
And he's like, the feline companion seems much pleased.
She is very happy. She is currently has her mouth too full to thank you, but I thank you.
He takes the offered gold coin and tucks it away very carefully and does a very, very deep bow. And he's like, it is my pleasure to serve any companion of the priestess. I hope things go well for all of you as you go about doing...
Inez is just somewhere banging her head against something.
So Grok accepts the gold coin, tucks it away safely, and then realizes that his papers are blowing all over and getting stepped on, and he's like, excuse me, I'm going to go get these and continue spreading the word of the unborn. It was very nice speaking to you. I will pass your message on to the high priest so-and-so. And
Sorin's like, thank you!
He runs off
and with your, spreading of the word.
He runs off picking up all the papers.
Sorin picks one up and sticks in his bag.
Meanwhile, what are Sorin or what are Adin and Darvan doing?
That is a good question. Darvan just kind of left quickly as possible, and after a moment he realizes that Adin is with him, and he's like, "You didn't want to get involved either?"
Not a chance. I'm not a fan of our cult.
So, Darvan has a few things that he wants to go, look for. For one thing, he's planning on buying another set of robes. His are getting kind of...
tattered.
Worn a little bit. Probably go to the local healer's shop and see... He doesn't have very exciting things that he's going to go shopping for. But he is going to wander around a little. So you guys...
Aiden's just going down the road, watching the windows of the stores.
Yeah.
He has 700 gold and nothing he wants to buy.
I imagine he stops in at one and sees a really neat cloak.
Price at 1,200 gold.
Yes, amazingly how you knew that price. And he's like, hold on to that. I'm going to buy it in the future. And the guy's like, it's been in the shop for a while. There hasn't been anybody really interested yet, so the chances are...
Aiden, being a sylph, knows what that is.
It'll likely be here for a while. It's kind of in a dusty corner of the shop. You get the feeling that the shopkeeper might be willing to haggle because he's had it for a while, but probably not down to where you could afford it yet.
I need a couple hundred more gold.
But if you give it some more time and pick up some more gold, you might find him willing to haggle in the future. But you try it on and kind of whoosh it around a few times to see what it's like, and are even more determined that you want it.
Aiden out of the store looking determined. For anyone who might see him.
The sight of the feathered cloak fills you with determination. So, various shopping things. You can actually use this as an opportunity, in the next 2 weeks to decide things that you guys want to buy. Mm-hmm. If you guys think of anything, let me know. Or any other things that you want to do while you're in town. You guys meet up later in the day, in the evening, probably, of the inn that you're staying at. And Darvan looks around at everybody and he's like, well, I kind of kept an ear out for if there's any kind of trouble. But I didn't notice anything.
Inez is not speaking to them.
What? I didn't want to get involved. He was doing very well for himself.
Inez, to her mind, was trying to be altruistic and save this poor thing from, all of this terrible stuff that she caused. But no one wanted to help her, so she's just, again, huffing.
Darvan's like grumbling as he eats his food. He actually has his he's got one of the things he picked up was sort of a leather headband, so that whenever he wants to focus on something, he can get his bangs out of his face. So while he's eating, he actually has that on so that it's easier to see.
Useful thing to note for as I was looking through my character sheet. I get to ignore 30 feet of fall whenever I'm doing fall stuff.
Awesome. That could be interesting. You could just literally jump.
Jump 30 feet down.
Jump out of a...
Sorin turns and looks at Darvan and is like, wait, I don't think I've ever actually seen your eyes.
Darvan pauses, fork midway to his mouth. What?
Are they all eating?
Yes.
Happy Cubla noises.
It's a good day for Cubla. She had giant piles of meat.
Sorin put some of the giant pile of meat in the bag because she couldn't physically eat that much. So he had pulled out some and put it down for her. So she's eating this weirdly large piece of meat that they did not think the inn carried right now.
Darvan kind of leans over, looks down at her.
Happy noises, happy Cubla noises, happy noises.
Shrugs. If she's happy, she's not trying to eat him or something. So whatever.
She looks up at him.
Where are they eating?
The tavern room or whatever inn they're staying in. I don't think they were staying in the Red Dragon Inn.
No.
So maybe it was the Pink Prancing Pony?
I thought that was the other city.
Was it the other city?
Whatever happens, Aiden's already... They're not traveling yet, so Aiden's already drinking.
You guys haven't heard anything about anything local. So, if you guys want... Darvan is like, I don't know if we want to stay here or if we want to move on. He's like, we've done a lot of traveling from one tiny town to another.
I want to come back here at some point, but...
Oh, well, yeah, of course. Darvan makes the suggestion that he's heard of a larger city. Quite a large...
Aiden's already interested. Aiden looks up from his glass.
It's set in a crossroads, so it's not like a capital size or anything, but it's quite a bit larger.
The city of Crossroads.
Sure. Crossroads City. Sounds like a Pokemon name. But Crossroads City is about a week away. They have a major market there that many of the merchants in town had mentioned. Some of them have even been there, and they said that it's really impressive. It's it's chaotic, it's a mess, but it's a lot of fun. And there's a ton of people there. There's it's almost like a state fair.
Sorin already looks a little sick because he's never been anywhere further than the mountain or bigger than these cities. So he's kind of looking up Cubla's looking up really?
It's kind of a state fair type of feel.
Aiden looks excited because this is
if Cubla has to go on a leash, she's gonna maul Darvan.
Aiden's backstory kind of consists of city to city anyways, so this is kind of right up his alley.
So, Darvan does mention that one of the merchants said that this is one of the best times to go to the market because they have an off season and they have a busy season, and this is right in between those. So you've got a lot of merchants that are showing up to get ready for the busiest time of the year, but it's not quite so busy yet. So
Jackson Hole toward the middle of May.
Yeah, something like that.
It's the most, not quite busiest time of the year.
Yeah, pretty much. So, and there's actually like some engineers and some wizards have gotten together to make rides, even. There's games, there's food of all kinds, merchants of all kinds, and that's just the fair part. There's also the city that can be explored, too. So Darvan goes, I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of tired of just always going into dungeons and killing things. This might be kind of fun to go check out.
I'm gonna roll a knowledge geography to see if Adin knows of the area, because Adin's traveled. See if he's heard of it or even been through there in his past.
I'm gonna roll to see if you've been in the area.
I mean, if he went, it'd be in the off season, but.
You haven't been to it directly yourself, but somebody, you have heard quite a bit about it in the past. Multiple people have recommended it to you as a place that has lots of things to explore.
Adin puts out whatever information he knows about Crossroads. For the party. I'm pretty sure the city had a library as well. For those who might enjoy that.
Mm-hmm. And hey,
I mean,
it's a bigger area. You might be able to find out more about the ye old Hall of Hero History Hall.
It's true. I will point out that to Inez, she's seen big cities. She's just never seen any big cities on like above ground.
So it'd be a new experience.
It's true.
It's also possible you could find somebody there to tell you more about the egg. There's a lot of people there.
True.
There's also a lot of wizards there. Because there's wizards there that put up rides every year. There's wizards there.
Yeah.
That
So,
might know something.
You guys discuss it throughout the evening.
Plus for our barbarian friend, I've heard. I'm going to. Can I roll one more local, see if I'm right on this?
Sure.
Alright. I've heard that the taverns in Crossroads are some of the best in the region.
And there are tests of strength. Could be a chance to make some decent money.
Yep.
So, I believe we just got Saerenrae interested.
Potentially. So after discussing it throughout the evening, do you guys decide to head towards Crossroads, or strike out in another direction, or stay local?
I mean, I'm
Probably
good
head
with
toward Crossroads. Something new.
A big city probably would have some bigger problems that you might be able to help with.
Plus more adventures to discuss with, to find out what they've had to deal with in the area.
True.
Because Crossroads being a major market city is a major destination for more adventurers.
Yep.
true.
So if you guys decide, and Sorin, Darvan says that he heard Crossroads is at the edge of a large forest. So if it does get overwhelming, there is a forest right there.
I'm pretty. One more roll for fun, okay?
And hey, who knows? You could probably set out like a performance area, and Cubla could just stand there, and people could pay to see her. Because snow leopards are not real common in this area.
Yeah,
Kinda like,
likes to perform.
a problem that none of the other ones have or probably realize, because dhampirs are not well liked. Like, in general.
There's ways to hide things.
It's like, has very bad memories of larger areas.
Darvan's like, well, you're with us now, so you won't have issues with that anymore.
No,
If anyone bothers you, we'll just have Zenra deal with them.
That's true.
Loud frowning noises.
To be fair, no one would probably notice you. There's weirder things to look at in this group.
The svirfneblin is carrying around this wing thing.
And glittering. If she's got the priestess robes on.
The half-orc's 7.5 feet tall.
Mm-hmm. With huge hammer and swords. Sorin, you might be the most normal-looking thing you hear.
Other than Darvan.
Darvan.
Cubla's here with us. We've got Cubla here to be weird-looking. And I'm a sylph, so...
So, you guys, there's enough time in the evening, you guys get together traveling rations and everything and get ready to go so that you can set out the next day. This is going to be about week-long travel, depending on what happens. So I'm assuming you guys set out early the next morning.
Yep. Hey, Sorin, good news for you.
Yeah?
We're back on camping schedule.
And Soren's like, that's great, I guess.
So, let me roll.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
Okay, I'll pause.
Can we, like, pause?
Okay. Yeah. We can pause.
Explain.
No, we can't. Lies and untruths.
Lies and slander.
Exactly.
Yeah, I figured having Adin put in some of his knowledge he may have acquired from drifting around in his youth, put to good use.
Oh hey, if we might be binging Star Trek this weekend, but not in the same way that we were series. So we probably will be able to do prop hunt. I'm thinking either Friday night or Saturday afternoon.
Either of those is
We're
fine.
not going to binge it like series, because that would involve watching 8 consecutive hours of William Shatner.
I don't think that can take that much William Shatner.
I was going to say, that should be fine. Sunday's not good for me. I'm supposed to be going somewhere.
Okay. So Friday night would probably be the better night.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Saturday's fine. I just can't do.
Hey Ari, you know what we could do? As I say, we could go up to our grandparents and use their TV to watch Red, but that would be really awkward.
That would be really awkward.
I almost want to do it now.
I don't think I would want to watch Rent up at the grandparents.
No, probably not an idea.
Because isn't it the play?
I'm pretty sure yes, actually.
Yeah. That would have that one song.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I don't want to watch the play at my grandparents.
I don't think I'd want to watch the movie with that.
I don't think I'd want to watch them. I mean, just imagine the wedding scene with our grandparents. Or pretty much anything with Maureen.
Yeah, pretty much anything.
Anything coming out of Maureen's mouth.
I mean, the one that's probably the most appropriate also would still be weird because the cow scene.
To be fair, that seems weird.
It's very weird.
To be fair.
Anyways, I hear that we have a person back, so you guys prepare to set off the next morning. So the way this is going to happen is I'm going to roll a d20. And the d20 will determine if something happens or if you guys just travel.
We're going to do it 7 days.
You have 7 days of travel ahead of you.
Whee!
What I have some stuff from my deck, and I'm also using the Dungeon in a Box booklets because it has some interesting random encounters we can do too.
Whee!
Day 1.
Day 1, day part.
Cloppity clop. Or walkity walk.
Yeah, it kind of determines.
None of us really have horses, though.
Yeah. Well, technically, Sorin could.
So you guys are just barely leaving the town.
We've already had a weird encounter while we were in town.
That can almost count.
Thank you, Inez.
Let me see.
Oh yeah, nice robes, Darvan.
Yeah, Darvan has a nice new set of robes.
Go, Darvan.
As you guys... Actually, before you even leave the tavern...
We haven't even left yet, and we're already having something happen.
No, you haven't even left yet. As you go to pass out the door of the tavern, you all hear a loud creaking noise. Everybody roll a reflex check.
No.
1 sec.
Yes.
Defenses.
Reflex
Sorin?
save.
Reflex. Yes.
Alright, Ines, roll 7.
Hot
I rolled a 2.
So,
Hot dang, Cubla.
Sorin, you're distracted as you see Cubla's ears perk up and then suddenly she leaps out of the way. And Inez, I think you were in front of Sorin, or no, behind Sorin or something, and maybe that's why you didn't see it. Everybody else manages to leap out of the way as suddenly, weirdly, and randomly, the door just falls inwards with a loud creak and a crash.
As you do.
And it's quite a large, heavy door. So Sorin and Inez, you're both trapped underneath this huge door. Which I'm going to say Saerenrae picks up off of you easily. But the tavern keeper comes out and he's like, "What did you do to my door?"
Someone's like, "I didn't touch it!"
Well, obviously you did. It fell on you.
And it's like, I give you my word. Nobody touched it. But it's kind of squished and muffled sounding, so, you know.
No, I think we got
Then you took the
unmarried
door
already.
off.
Then you hear, that's not quite true that nobody touched it. From outside the door.
Adin looks out the door. Way.
Stooping down beside the door is a 15-foot tall tree person who looks somehow very sheepish.
Good morning.
Greetings. My deepest apologies. I meant to open the door, and I kind of did, but not in the way that I meant to.
Inez is like, you succeeded. The door is
open.
Very open.
It's kind of impressive because the hinges are just kind of ripped off the door frame. You guys are kind of lucky that you weren't. You're kind of lucky that you weren't squashed flat.
Yeah. Sorin rolled a knowledge nature to see if he knows what this guy is.
I don't know if there's actually D&D tree creatures. Hold on a second.
Ent.
Essentially.
No.
Yeah. But he's like trying to see if what he knows about this guy.
Actually, this is an awakened tree. It is a massive tree that has been given sentience and mobility by the awakened spell. You're not entirely sure how it's talking. There's actually no face.
What brings you into town?
Huh?
What brings you in town?
I'm in search of a particular herb that I heard a merchant here sold.
Sorin's like, describe the herb.
He does so, and it's a fairly rare one.
Mm-hmm.
But
does Sorin know where to get it?
Roll knowledge local.
Roll knowledge local.
Okay.
And or knowledge nature.
Knowledge nature if you've seen the plant in the general area, and with knowledge local if you want to know if it's in a store.
Well, I kind of want to know if Sorin's seen it. Wow.
Aiden has not seen it.
Aiden thinks he's lying.
Aiden, you're pretty damn sure that
he's looking for mushroom spirits.
What he's looking for is a mushroom spirit plant, and that the Red Dragon Inn carries it.
Aiden. What would be a thinking check?
Huh?
What would be a thinking check?
A thinking check?
To see if he realizes the stupidity of what he just thought.
Guess he could do a will save.
Roll and add your wisdom modifier.
That was
That's
really
the
dumb to think.
dumbest thing he's ever thought. Where did that idea come from?
He keeps his mouth shut, and he will tell Darvan. He will tell Darvan this thought at a later time.
So he basically goes,
and looks deep in thought.
Yeah. So he's, yeah, that was the stupidest thing he's almost said in a long time. Sorin, you haven't seen what the tree is talking about in any of the stores. However, it's also not local to the area, which is probably why the awakened tree has come into town looking for it.
So Sorin explains what he's found. Kind of looks at Darvan like, you what?
What?
Darvan went to the
went shopping.
Medical shops that might have it too.
Darvan goes, hold on, let me see if I can remember anything. He thinks back over the shops that he visited. And he doesn't remember seeing anything like that at any of the shops. Sorry. Oh, that's okay. I didn't know if it was at this town, or maybe it's a different town. I'll just keep looking. Why is this guy sounding like a Muppet? He's like a relative of Kermit.
Hey, frog, he's tree.
Makes sense. He's Treemit.
Treemit,
the awakened tree.
Hey, you.
Okay, I'll just keep going along now.
Hey.
Yes?
If Aiden gives him directions toward Crossroads. It's one of the larger cities in the area. They might have it.
Oh, okay. I'll try it. He actually moves faster than you guys because he is so tall. So you guys don't want to travel with him, since he also really doesn't need to rest.
Yeah.
Even if you guys try to travel with him, he'll outpace you fairly quickly.
But it was more of a case of I was like, no, the direction.
Okay, thank you. It was a pleasure to meet you. Sorry for dropping a door on your companions. I hope they are alright.
Sorin's like, I'm fine. Safe travels.
Cranky face Inez. Muff.
Saerenrae has picked up the door at this point.
Yep.
He goes,
anyone know door repair?
Sorin's like, I could probably jury-rig something.
He looks thoughtful for a moment, and then like part of his bark opens, almost like a pocket, and he pulls out a few bits of plants and offers them to Inez. And they happen to be things that could be used in alchemical substances. And he's like, I don't have much that I can offer an apology, but here's a few things, if you would like.
Inez looks a little sad and gives him one left because she's not really cranky at him. She's just cranky at everything right now. So she looks in her pack. She doesn't have a ton of money, so she gives him this one dragon scale and says, "It's okay. I just hate everything. It's okay."
You're not a morning person, are you, Inez?
I'm not talking to you.
Darvan's like, I think she still doesn't forgive us for the kobold thing.
What kobold thing?
Where we
can Sorin roll survival to see if he can make a temporary fix for the door?
It's not as much survival as it would be.
Inez can try and craft it back.
Yeah.
That'd be probably your craft
thing.
Yeah.
Or I'd even take just a straight dex check, maybe.
There's also knowledge engineering, which might help as well.
Oh yeah, knowledge engineering could help.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it rolls my craft as alchemy continuously, which is not what I'm trying to do, but I have a +4 in it anyway, so if you wanted to take that down by 3, it's a 17.
Okay.
Do we have enough going on? Should I add in?
Between Saerenrae picking it up and those two.
Oh, I also have the cantrip mend.
That could help too. Yeah.
What do I have in spell category? Because we have a bunch of spellcasters. Maybe they'll have something to.
Yeah, maybe I'll have a basic spell that can help.
I mean, mend. As long as you tell me it works, it just works. You know.
Yeah, mend would work. It would help reattach.
What do you do? Oh yeah.
So your craft checks kind of tell you, yes, this is something that mend can fix.
Great. Fantastic.
So the door is fixed.
Yeah, Sorin adds his mending capability to that too.
You fix one hinge, Inez fixes the other hinge. Saerenrae opens and closes it a couple of times to test it. The innkeeper is appreciative that you fixed it. He apologizes for assuming that you guys had done it. And you are able to get on your way. The rest of the day goes pretty smoothly. And you make pretty good time.
That tree was a pretty nice guy.
I realized I missed an opportunity, though.
Oh.
He should have only said one thing.
I am Groot.
Yes.
I am tree.
I am tree.
He is Groot.
I am Treebit.
I am Treebit. He did introduce himself to you, though, so... And you guys are heading in the same direction, so you may run into each other again.
Daw.
We may find a 15-foot tall awakened tree when we get to Crossroads.
Or shortly before you get to Crossroads, you might find a 15-foot long bonfire somewhere. Who knows?
Oh, no. Please no.
You never know.
I love what we imagine for these things.
You travel along the road. The road to Crossroads is, at this particular point, it's a fairly small one. It will get bigger as you go along and get closer to the city. You make good time. It's been a while since you guys have traveled a longer distance, so most of your stuff has been within a couple of days of each other. So it'll take some settling to get used to long distance traveling again, but it's going pretty well, and you guys go along through the day, breaking a couple of times for just rests and meals and things like that, and then you get to a place where it looks like it'd be a good spot to settle in for the night.
Yay!
And it's a quiet night. You guys make camp. I assume Sorin makes dinner.
Yep.
And nobody shows up, nothing bothers you. I'm assuming that you guys set guards every night, just because it's safer to do that. You never know if there's bandits around.
Inez
I imagine Adin will end up using using his dancing lights to light the area around when he's on guard, so he can actually see, even though he can see in the dark.
No, he probably does the lights just because he's bored.
That too.
If you have quiet evenings, Sorin, you can use this time to work with Darvan on crafting some more speak with animal bands.
Yeah. He probably has some more material that he can, and I can also roll survival check if he catches stuff to use their skins and stuff to make armbandy things.
You can roll a survival check each time I roll a d20 to see what happens. If you want to look for stuff, you can also roll checks if you want to look for alchemical ingredients or anything like that.
So for this tonight, since we were stopping, I roll.
Yes.
Are you watching during the day, or are you taking some time during the night to go hunting? Because you've got some time in the you guys stop, you make camp, and then you might have some time before that you could either spend doing your own projects, or you could go out hunting or something like that, or you could work on your project and Cubla could go hunting.
Because meow.
Well, he'll probably be working on the project. I assume he has something on him.
Inez wants to continue working on her weapon that she can use without having to set things on fire.
The potion launching one?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow, Cubla.
How many times have we rolled for this so far? Do you remember?
Only once.
Only once?
There were the 2 times. One at the beginning, one at the end.
What?
For what?
Sorry, we were talking about my potion launching thing.
Oh, okay.
But I've only ever rolled for it once, so that's what we were discussing.
Okay. I'm gonna say for your potion launching thing, at least 5 successful checks.
Yeah. We said it was... I think it was even 10, because we said we were going to do it over a long time. So, I'm not...
At 5 successful checks, I'll say that it's in a beta. And
you
can use it, but it won't be up to full capacity.
That makes sense. I think I've got 1 success on it so far, so,
So right now, it's still at the, you go to launch it and pieces fall off stage. Yeah. And it's shit. Shit.
You okay over there?
Still breaking things.
Right now, you're using empty bottles to test. Because accidentally setting things on fire would be bad.
Yep.
Right. Aiden's probably taking night watches so he can use his lights easily.
So during the day, you guys can roll survival, perception, whatever checks if you want to watch for stuff as you go along. If I roll for an encounter, it will override that. So it didn't happen today, probably because you guys were still talking about treatment.
Oh, and Aiden told Darvan about his dumb mushroom spirit thing, too.
Darvan laughs.
Cubla laughs
why
at
do
you.
we even have mushroom spirits as an entertaining joke among us now, isn't it?
I mean, we've found
Sorin's
actual
like,
mushroom spirits,
it is
though.
not a joke. They most definitely exist.
They're also gross.
Something like that. So if anybody wants to do any rolls for anything, Inez, you're working on your machine. If you roll, what did we decide for that? Is it a craft? I think it's a craft alchemy.
Yeah, and that would make the most sense.
So if you do a roll for that to see how that's going along, Sorin, maybe roll.
Spellcraft?
Well, for your part of it, sure. Are you gonna ask Darvan to help? That's
yeah,
good.
he's
That's
probably going to have Darvan's help.
That's another.
So it kind of depends on what
success.
component he's making.
So Darvan agrees to help.
Mm-hmm.
He rolled you get a +1 on whatever your roll is, as he tries to help inscribe a rune into whatever you're making. Now the question is, are you making a collar for Cubla?
Nah, he's gonna make armbands for people.
Armbands for everybody?
He probably thought about making an armband for Cubla and then remembered Kubla's mouth.
Yeah, he doesn't want everyone to know what... everyone to know what Cubla's saying. Also, a talking snow leopard?
Darvan goes, wouldn't it make more sense to make one for Cubla? It'd save you a lot of time. He says this loud enough for Cubla to hear.
Soren's like, no, it really wouldn't.
It's like, shh, shh, quiet.
Don't say such things! The cat can hear you!
Do you really want to be able to understand Cubla all the time?
Do you want our enemies to understand Cubla?
Inez goes, doesn't she mostly say lunch?
Darvan goes, oh, that makes sense.
Based on what I've heard, do you want the townsfolk to understand Cubla?
Oh, no.
Darvan's like, okay, that makes sense. So that's how he spends his evening. Cubla.
Yeah. What's it? Should Sorin roll?
Sorin roll spellcraft with a +1.
Okay. 15.
It's good enough to get started on one. So I'd say you're a third of the way done, maybe with another band-ish.
Do you think Aiden's magic could help at all?
You could roll spellcraft, like Darvan did, to assist.
Didn't help at all. Not today.
Not a lot. It's still about a third of the way done.
A little bit of magical energy.
It's like, how did we do that the first time? Did we do this?
Trying to remember.
No. Did we do that? No. Is there anything else anybody wants to do for the evening? It goes by quietly. You guys make a good meal.
Honestly, given what I'm doing, I can't imagine being, able to concentrate on a ton of stuff.
Cubla's off gallivanting.
While everybody's being boring, you kind of slip away for a bit, and you come across a rabbit. And you manage to catch it.
Comes back holding rabbit, looking very pleased with something.
Wascally wabbit.
Yep. Drops it on Sorin's foot.
And Sorin's like, thanks, Cubla.
Meow.
Are you going to eat it?
Just wanted you to admire it for a moment. Goes off and eats.
Okay. It's a very nice rabbit.
So, everybody takes turns on guard duty. The night goes by peacefully without anything happening. And it's the next morning. You guys break camp and head out.
Yep.
The quiet evening continues into the morning. This is morning of the second day.
Sure.
I feel like I'm playing Majora's Mask.
Yeah, I was about to say, I feel like we're having incredibly good luck, but also...
Well, it makes it hot for Cublas.
So, what is your... Are you looking at plants? Are you hunting? Are you...
I think Sorin was mainly hunting this time.
Mainly hunting?
Yeah.
As you go down along the path, you actually notice a flash of white off to the right. And you, with your high roll, you notice it in time to... Do you have a bow?
I have a dagger at the very least. I don't remember what I have.
Dagger throw.
What do I have? I have a sling, I think.
So you kind of gesture for everybody to be quiet, and you creep off into the side of the road, sling at your side, twirl it, and you come over to quite a small, downed, actually, it's a goat. White-furred goat that you've knocked out.
Wild goat?
Maybe wild. Let me see if it's wild. Hold on.
Wild goat.
Dead?
At the moment, it's knocked out. Well, there's a bright pink collar around its neck.
Darvan? Wait, Sorin, you just...
With a tag on it that says Fluffy.
Sorin, you just knocked out somebody's goat.
Oops.
Fluffy! Fluffy, where are you, boy? You hear from down the
Darvan,
road.
heal this goat.
Sorin wants to try and revive the goat. What should he do?
Animal handling.
Handle animal?
Sorin's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, goat, goat, be okay, goat!
Be okay, goat!
You shake the goat a little and poke at it and do various things, and the goats are pretty hardy. It was pretty much just knocked for a loop, and all of a sudden it kind of jerks and rolls to its feet and
You're okay, goat!
and everybody off on the path that just watched Sorin disappear for a few minutes, and then suddenly
Darvan, what the hell was that?
Anger goat!
I'm not sure I want to know. Suddenly a girl in pigtails runs past you guys. Fluffy! Fluffy! And she runs into the forest. Fluffy? Goat runs towards her voice. Fluffy! You need to not run away from me, boy.
Anger goat!
I just turned Mia's nat 20 into a disaster.
The goat's bigger than she is. And in fact, it's actually big enough that she can ride it with. She does actually get on the goat and points in a direction, and the goat runs off where she points. So this girl disappears into the woods and comes back out riding a goat with a pink collar with a name tag on it. And the girl hasn't noticed, but the goat's like bleeding from above its eye. So the blindingly snow-white fur is stained with blood as the goat comes tearing out of the woods with the little girl riding on him going, Mah! And then they disappear down the road.
Before she goes flying through, I'm going to see if I can notice something. Do I notice the fact that the goat is coming and or bleeding before she gets completely out of the forest?
Yes.
Darvan, channel energy to heal.
Darvan goes, okay, and he does so, and the goat stops bleeding, is still stained with blood, though the girl still hasn't noticed it, and they disappear down the road. Darvan goes...
Sorin just kind of pauses and is like, What just happened?
Nobody will ever know. So the group is just standing awkwardly on the road.
We'll never tell. Sorry.
And I imagine Sorin comes back out, looking confused and or sheepish.
Mm-hmm. And just starts heading down the road.
Darvan's
Absolutely
like,
no word to them.
What was that?
I don't know, but I just had you channel to heal a goat.
Inez, what do you think that was?
Inez goes for factual. A goat.
No,
I'm pretty sure it was girl right into the goat.
And you guys continue down the road.
I mean, I don't know what you wanted Inez to say to that. She's like...
Darvan, at least, is gonna spend much of the day trying to get the story from Sorin.
And Sorin is going to be
Extremely what?
unhelpful.
Every so often he'll be like, okay, what was with the goat? And Sorin's like, oh, look over there. It's a thing. I'm gonna go look at it. So you guys get to another area that looks like it would be a good camping spot.
Like you do.
Like you do. Set up camp, have dinner. Things are going quiet, as far as you can tell. You decide the guard system for the night, and everybody settles in for whatever they want to do.
Yep.
More projects?
Yep. Give me a moment. I shall roll my project.
Oh, you get a +2.
Sorin,
And it doesn't help.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
What is it with right now?
So you go to work on the band, and you realize as you've been trying to do it, it's upside down. And you're like, ah, crap, and you have to undo everything you had done that night, so you don't make any progress. Inez, things are going pretty well, while the other guys are going, how do it? And Darvan's like, oh my gosh, I showed you the rune, it looks like this. While they're doing that, you're like, oh yeah, I should do this, and this might work. And you successfully launch a potion. Well, you successfully launch, well, maybe not a bottle, glass bottles would get expensive. You successfully launch a rock a foot or two.
Nice shot, Ines.
And this is like, I successfully have a slingshot.
That doesn't go as far as a slingshot. But
right.
It's getting there. You know, you're working on it.
There's something here.
Cubla, you nose around out in the bushes, and you just find plants.
Cubla's very bored with plants. She sees
Are any of the plants she's found in use?
Small human is very obsessed with plant. I feel like sniff some.
It's a plant.
Internal shrug.
Is vegetable.
Vegetable.
Comes back to Sorin complaining about vegetables out in the forest. It's like,
Vegetals?
that
Yes?
forest. There's gonna be plants in the forest.
There are way too many vegetables.
Yeah.
Vegetables or vegetals?
Vegetables.
Yeah.
Yes.
Vegetables.
Vegetables.
It's just getting worse the more she says it.
Vegelneblins.
Svirfneblin. There are way too many svirfneblins in the forest.
There's way too many what now?
Inez is like, did we migrate?
No, because it's Sorin. Inez, it's Cubla who said it.
Yeah, Sorin hasn't said anything about what she said. He just looked.
He's just like, there's what? Svirfnebl wobbles. Gibbetals.
What?
Plants!
Plant.
Not lunch! There is way too much not lunch.
Lunch. I could have gotten you lunch.
So the night goes smoothly. You guys wake up, morning of the third day. The road continues ahead. Let me
roll.
throw my thing back up and roll.
A 2.
A 2. You guys pass by some other people. Nobody that seems really interested in you or interesting at all, really.
Darvan, like half an hour after passing, Darvan, that last group we passed looked disturbingly normal.
Yeah, Darvan's kind of, he's like, it's weird to have so many normal people.
I'm of the opinion that the group we just in question is a group of doppelgangers disguised as humans.
Sorin was like, wow, that looked like a normal family off on a vacation or something.
You guys pass farmers with their wagons full of crops and maybe some rangers, you know, nobody that looks dangerous or suspicious or anything, just people traveling. Because honestly, the majority of people in the world are normal people and not adventurers or villains. And you're having a couple of days of realizing that. You pass a few farms out in the distance, but, you know, nothing's on fire. Nobody's screaming for help. It's kind of weird
utterly
compared
confused.
to your recent adventures.
Utterly confused.
You've gone like 2 whole days without somebody needing your help.
I know. It's witchcraft.
You guys find a good place to make camp. Is this survival check for the morning?
Yeah, I was letting you finish your thing, but you never paused. So Cubla and Sorin are... Wow! You two. Calm down.
Cubla, at one point during the day you smell something, and you run off, and you return with 2 rabbits. Your choice if you decide to share, or if you're going to eat both of them.
Cubla's like... And Sorin's like, don't talk with your mouth full. All I'm picturing is there's a nice family going past and they just kind of do a double take.
Probably.
Like, what?
Them wascally wabbits.
Darvan's like, very good, Cubla, you got 2.
Good job, Cubla.
She does the thing where cats look like they're smiling. She looks very
Not that we can tell, because her mouth is full.
Rabbit.
Sorin, you notice just off the pathway in an area that's not part of a farm, there is an apple tree. Very full of apples that look like they've gotten to the peak of ripeness. So if you guys want, you can stop briefly at the apple tree. Cubla can shove food in her face, because eating on the walk is probably kind of hard.
For a
and
cat.
you guys can pick up a bunch of apples. If you would like.
Sorin's like, hey guys, look, apples.
Yum.
Hey!
I feel like we're not being very helpful on this trip.
I was looking to see if there's anything of note around the apple tree, like maybe an ownership sign if it was or not.
You just see apples on the ground, scattered around. Some of them look half-eaten. The area doesn't look owned.
I would like to do a magic check to see if the apples are magic.
Okay.
We are so suspicious.
Oh, Sorin can join in. He has detect poison, I think. You know, since we're suspicious.
Just in case,
you know. Detect poison.
Snow White
Sorin's
leopard?
like, I really don't think so, but...
They're not poison.
No.
Just for good measure.
They're not poison, they're not magic.
They're probably fine. They're probably fine, guys.
I think I'm disappointed.
But they're just apples!
But there's so much potential for them to be magic apples, or poison apples, or...
Magic poison apples!
Exactly!
Well, you are along a major roadway, so if they were magic or poison, somebody probably would have found out, and they wouldn't have just left the tree unguarded. I mean,
You don't know. You don't know what the magic
recently
does.
magic, but
Maybe it poisons you to be birds. At which point, how would you know?
Aiden's going to roll to see how tasty the apples are. They're apples.
They're apples.
They are not as ripe as they look.
They're wild apples, so they're a little smaller than ones that have been cultured.
But they're juicy.
Sorin,
they're decent. They are thoroughly adequate apples.
They're average.
Thoroughly adequate apples. Maybe my new favorite phrase.
Cubla, they're obsessing over plants for some reason.
She's in the back, complaining.
When you have perfectly good rabbits.
She's complaining at them.
With her mouth full.
Sorin was like, Cubla, can I have one of the rabbits? I can keep a hold of it for you.
No, you're obsessing about plants when you should be appreciating the fact that I caught 2 rabbits.
Cubla.
Cubla gives you the rabbit, but only after licking the whole thing first.
Sorin's like, hey, I'm merely grabbing it so you don't eat both of them. You can eat it tonight.
I'll even cook it for you.
You did very good! Pat's head.
I'll even cook the rabbit for you.
So you guys pick a bunch of apples. Cubla finishes her snack, and then you guys are off again. That night...
We finally have something happen!
So, you guys actually, when it comes time to stop for the night, what you happen to have found yourself next to somebody's store, actually. Well, not a store. It's a blacksmith. This is kind of the not quite halfway, but around halfway point between Crossroads and the previous town. And
Aiden knocks on the door.
Well, nobody answers because the person's working late, a little bit later than normal. So he's actually out in the forge. You hear the sounds of the
hammers
forge in the back of the property. And you actually hear swearing.
Aiden goes around.
Freaking gosh damn freaking horse, stand still, dang it, I'm trying to get your damn shoe on, horse.
Sorin walks over to the guy. Sorin walks in and goes over to the horse and rolls really badly, but
tries.
The horse isn't actively fighting him, it's just the fidgetiest horse in existence. And when Sorin goes over to try and help, he kind of startles the horse, and the horse kind of bucks a little bit, and the blacksmith backs off as the horse kind of jumps around a little bit, and the shoe that he had partially onto the horse goes flying through the air.
Aiden goes and grabs the horse. Her shoe. Next time, warn him, maybe.
Sorry.
The smith goes, no, it's fine. This horse just doesn't really want to cooperate. He picks the horse's foot up again, looks at it.
Sorin's usually better with animals than that. He's a druid.
Sorry.
He grumbles a little bit, and
Sorin's like, a horse? Seriously. Go say so. It's like, do you know the horse's name?
Is he saying this out loud?
Yeah, he asked the smith, do you know the horse's name?
Yeah, damn it.
Do you know the horse's real name?
No.
Yeah, damn it.
Damn it. And it's not my name, it's the owner's name for him.
He's like, oh. But
full name, damn it, horse. He's kind of a local legend.
Is this horse as fidgety for its rider as it is for you?
Yes.
I would like you to know that that's actually a thing that can happen with horses, because in racehorsing you can't name a horse anything that a racehorse has already been named, and so you get some really weird names.
Yep. A lot of times it's a mixture of the parents. It'll have bits and pieces from those names, but...
Yep.
The smith goes, it's actually my brother's horse. And he was riding it, and it was temporarily lamed, and so he left it here. Then the dang thing threw a shoe, and I've been trying to fix it, but it won't stay still long enough. And I've been trying for like an hour now, and I'm about ready to give up for the night. So, you know what? For trying to help, keep the shoe. I've heard it's lucky.
Sorin tries, it's like, do you want to try again?
Adin goes over to go help the horse, and the horse snorts at him, and is like, I don't think so. But while he's doing...
Adin backs up.
While he's doing that, Sorin, grabs hold of the horse and kind of murmurs things to it and calms it back down, so that it's no longer trying to...
It can't actually understand him, too, but...
So you get it to calm down. It's still fidgety. It does not stay still. This is a horse with ADD. And the smith goes, you can keep the horseshoe. I can actually tell even from here that it's gotten bent in a weird way, that it's worth just as much to try again with a new one, because I've been trying to use that one for the past while. I've heard it's lucky. You can keep it if you'd like.
We were sorry to come in and scare the horse, but...
Oh, you didn't scare it. It just took advantage of an opportunity.
We came back to... We were actually coming by... We're traveling to Crossroads. And
a popular location at this time of year.
We were hoping to maybe camp out of your property, but we want to make sure it was okay with you first.
Oh yeah, I'd host you, but I don't think I have enough space. It's not a very big place. It's basically it's a slightly larger cabin, essentially, with a blacksmith forge off the side. So
no worries. We've been we need to stay in the practice of camping. We spent the last couple weeks in town.
He does offer to share dinner with him. Maybe if they want to contribute, and he'll contribute, and they can have a meal of it.
Sounds like I can help cook it.
And he'll spend the night telling you stories of Damnit Horse and some of the hijinks that it's gotten up to.
So it's about to be an entertaining evening.
Yep.
Inez loves Damnit Horse.
Adin and friends will probably end up helping out with dinner then. We found some apples on the way here.
Give some of their hijinks.
Inez would like to sneakily attempt to roll animal handling just to see what happens.
Okay. So while dinner is being made, Damnit Horse, he put into like a corral type area where horses can stay while they're waiting to be serviced, essentially.
Oh, this isn't gonna go well, guys, just so you know. Oh! Hey!
You lied to us.
I did.
So you sneak off and go over to the corral and climb up on the fence, and you're like, hey, horse!
Yep. That's exactly what I'm like.
The horse is kind of cantering circles, slowly burning off extra energy, and it's curious because it's never seen one of you before, and it comes straight over to you, almost knocks you off the fence as it kind of nudges you gently with its forehead, and is looking at you with an impressive curiosity.
And it's like...
So this is a horse who thinks it's a cat.
Sure.
And this is like, why do they call you Damnit? Do you like being called Damnit Horse? I kind of like being called Damnit Inez, so I wouldn't blame you.
So Inez has a conversation with the horse. The horse seems rather intelligent. Since a lot of the most problematic animals are quite intelligent. It's just their own intelligence. And
just like humans.
Ahead of them. So it kind of... When you're like, do you enjoy being called Damnit Horse? It kind of doesn't. But, and like, arches its neck and prances around a little bit with like a horse version of laughter.
Inez is proud of this horse. She likes this horse. Inez could use a horse, but we need to not Pokemon collect everything.
Well, in a level, Inez could ride Cubla like a horse. Everybody could ride Cubla like a horse.
Technically, I think Inez has ridden.
Inez has ridden Cubla like a horse.
I have.
If you asked Adin nicely, he could summon you a horse. I can summon a horse that lasts for 12 hours.
I don't think Adin and Inez asking nicely.
Your size is small. You can ride Cubla right now.
Is Inez small?
For sure. I looked up.
Yeah, I am 3 feet tall.
Yeah, you can ride Cubla.
You guys make dinner, tell stories.
Laugh at stories about Damnit Horse.
If you guys want to tell and listen to stories, you probably won't have time to work on your own personal projects as much. But it proves to be an entertaining evening all around. And hey, you now have a lucky horseshoe. Hayden, did you pick it up?
Yes, he did.
Okay. It is actually a usable item. If you choose to invoke the properties of the horseshoe, it will give you +2 to whoever's holding it for the encounter.
Or he can keep, or being Adin, he can keep it as a trinket.
I will say that it can be used like that once per day.
Adin slides it into the pocket of his coat, cape thing.
So you guys
traveling cloak.
Stay up for quite a while, talking to the blacksmith. You guys set guards, but it doesn't feel like it's quite as necessary. Wake up the next morning, say bid farewell to the smith and to Damnit Horse.
Yep. Sounds like farewell, Damnit Horse.
Sneakily tries to get Damnit Horse to come with her, even if she knows it's gonna work.
So basically, you're trying to convince Damnit Horse to run away with you.
Yep.
Roll. Roll another handle animal too.
Yeah, no, I know. I was just putting something out there for somebody if they wanted to notice me doing it. Nope. Nope.
So the biggest problem is that Damnit Horse is still missing a shoe.
Valid.
So
also, we like this blacksmith. We don't want to steal his brother's horse.
Look, I wasn't trying to steal it. I was trying to convince it to run away with me. There's a difference.
Damnit Horse is more than happy to greet you in the morning, kind of snuffles at you. Inez, did you pick any of the apples?
Yeah, of course, because I wasn't hunting, so...
So, Damnit Horse kind of sniffs at you, sniff, 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 because apples, 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 apples. Damnit Horse is obviously looking for something.
Please give the horse an apple.
Yes, because Sorin would understand. Damnit Horse, Sorin, you hear?
Very tired says that.
You hear, I smell apples. Apples. Do you have apples? I smell some apples. Where are the apples? I think you have apples. Where's the apples?
Can I have an apple?
Inez is like...
Please.
The horse would like an apple.
Oh, Inez looks a little disappointed, but goes, "Okay, you can have my apples, but you know, the offer was open."
Apples!
Damnit Horse was very focused. I think that's why the handle animal failed, because he was so distracted by apples that he didn't understand that you were interested in having him go with you. So he's happily crunching on apples.
Crunch.
And then he's like, "Offer? Wait, what?
Apples!
Was it an offer of apples? Because I accept that offer." Crunch, crunch, crunch.
Ooh, apples!
Inez is just like, "It's okay."
So you guys bid farewell to the smith and to Damnit Horse.
Yep.
Aiden leaves with them and is like, "Sorin,
Yeah.
why didn't you go up with an apple to give the horse? Wouldn't we have tried to help with the horseshoe?"
Well, did you think of it either?
No, but you're the druid, that's your job.
I don't spend time with horse.
Inez goes, "I don't know what your problem was. That horse was perfectly nice."
So, let's see, we're on the 3rd morning now?
4th day.
4th day.
Day
Wow.
4.
Day 4. Nothing really happens along the morning as you go along.
Sounds like an invitation for...
Inez is probably still talking about the horse.
Aiden tries his hand at a little hunting.
He actually has a bow.
Aiden, there's plants. Sorin, in the opposite direction that Aiden is looking, you see signs of an animal path.
Does Sorin recognize what kind of animal it is?
Trying to think of what kind of animal I want it to be. It actually looks like there's some signs of hoof prints, but then there's what looks like a fairly clear paw print.
Sorin's like, huh. And starts to follow the trail. Well, not saying anything, mind you, he just starts following it.
Meow?
Okay, Cubla probably follows you.
Yeah, Cubla's like, ooh, woman! Right, what did you find? Ooh, tracks.
Goes into stalker mode.
Yes.
Woman?
Cubla suddenly goes,
Darvan doesn't really notice.
Out there.
Aiden, you notice them going off the path.
And then all of a sudden Kubla's like blending into the...
Well, you see Cubla headed off the path, and then she just disappears into the foliage.
Our snow leopard just went that way, and I don't see our druid.
Well,
pauses.
Usually if we follow the snow leopard, we find the druid.
Technically, it's not usually if we follow the druid. Don't we usually follow the druid and find a snow leopard?
Not necessarily. Depends on what's wrong.
So do you guys want to go off the path in the direction you think they went?
Hey, Darvan, what do you think about waiting here and seeing if they come back?
Darvan's like, we could do that.
Because I don't feel like going tromping off after animal prints.
Animal prints?
I imagine he just saw something for hunting.
Probably. He has been keeping an eye out for that.
There's some plants around here, so...
So, Sorin, you follow the track, and it's going on, and it's obviously a well-worn animal track, but you're not finding...
anything.
You're not there's signs that things have been through here in the past few hours, but you're not coming across anything.
Based on prior experience, that's going to find much right now.
The prints are at least an hour old that you can see. so it's not likely, judging from what you can tell. Maybe if you knew this particular patch of wood better, but you've never been here before.
He sighs sadly and turns around.
Heads back.
Cubla's like, hmm.
So it's like 20 minutes later and Sorin comes out of the woods again?
Yep, something like that.
Find anything this time?
Found a path, but nothing on it.
Unfortunate.
No.
And suddenly, meow, 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 just like randomly appears next to Adin.
If we weren't on our way somewhere, we could set traps, but...
Pats on head.
Head bump.
So you guys continue on.
Night.
You're coming
Night
to
of
the
the fourth
time
day.
where you're looking at stopping for the night. Man, I'm not going to use any of my stuff, am I? I may just decide some of them to do some of them.
Yes.
Tonight, though, it's a quiet night. You guys make camp. Darvan will help with the spellcraft. Dang, good rolls on the spellcrafting. You successfully finish another talk with animals. Wristband.
Soren's like, pauses. Who wants to have the talk with animals wristband?
Who's Cubla want to be able to have understand?
Meh.
Actually, it's like, who wants to talk with animals wristband? Silence.
Guys,
Aiden puts out his hand.
you want it?
Sure.
Oh, here. Puts it on.
Aiden
Hi, cat!
Cat?
Cat!
Cat.
Cat!
Sorin.
Cubla's completely certain you're a cat. Just go with it.
Okay then.
Are you a cat?
Last I checked, no.
Are you sure?
Next time, Cubla
actually-
should pick who gets the band.
It's like, meow.
Aiden actually suggested that.
It is happy. Very excited.
Is fine with this choice?
Yes.
It's
Okay.
It's like, just starts talking his ear off about, like, everything and nothing.
So
Because he can understand her!
you're
It's exciting!
you're talking, Cubla, and then you hear something moving in the bushes nearby.
Goes off.
It's Cubla like, hold that thought.
It's like, talking, meow. Heads off.
Meow.
It's like, bounce off quietly.
Is she always this talkative, Sorin?
No.
You
just
actually
excited.
find a snake that's in the middle of eating a rat.
A snake.
Yes. Eating
Cats
rat.
don't like snakes.
I agree with them. I don't like either.
Goes up to snake. It wants to attack.
Yeah, I won't even make you roll it. You can kill it.
She bites it. Very firmly.
The snake is dead. The snake has a half-swallowed rat.
Meow.
2 for the price of 1.
It's like, meow! Picks it up and brings it. Cat, look!
As Sorin and Aiden simultaneously.
What?
Don't talk.
Cubla,
Actually,
stop talking with your
Don't
mouth.
eat with your mouth full.
Wait,
Aiden,
It-
that doesn't make any sense.
what?
Something the matter.
Yeah, you just told somebody not to eat with their mouth full, which is a bit baffling.
Very, very excited.
Inez, are you gonna work on your weapons?
Yeah.
here?
Yep. No. Why is using my crafting skills hard on this thing? Sorry.
Wow.
Dang. I'm gonna count that as double success.
That's 5.
Yep, 5.
So you have a rudimentary version that requires some testing and finagling.
But working prototype.
You can use this, but at a -2.
Okay. Inez attempts to fire it. If it happens to be in Darvan's direction, she won't be mad.
What are you firing?
A rock.
Not a fire potion, but can we like roll for some random potion that Inez has been testing and doesn't really know what it does?
Yep.
Okay.
Roll a d4.
No. Do not be surprised, Aiden, if this also happens to you.
I'm going to really quickly have Aiden.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so what I was mentally thinking is that 1 would be an empty bottle.
Yep.
2 would be a potion, an experimental potion that doesn't do anything except turn whatever it splashes onto purple for a short time. 3 would be a healing potion, and 4 is a potion of fire.
What? Oh, okay. Sigh.
It doesn't use up one of your ones.
No. Now I have
lighting Darvan on fire.
Now I have to find out if I actually hit him. Give me a minute.
Aiden's like, hey Darvan.
Roll a straight d20 -2. Yes?
I hate to tell you this, but...
Duck.
Okay, it doesn't hit him.
Okay.
No, it doesn't hit him.
I wasn't rolling to see if it hit him.
Oh no. It wasn't a 1.
So the potion launches through the air, just misses Darvan, and splats into the ground next to your campfire, and you now have some more fire. However, it's in the fire pit area you guys dug, so it quickly goes out.
Okay.
That could have been really bad, Ines.
It wobbled a lot when you launched it, so obviously there's still some problems that need worked out.
Inez goes, look, I didn't even shoot, there was no way to know that that was actually going to be a fire potion. It's not even made like a fire potion, like,
the
legitimately.
Label's wrong. If you look at the label, it actually says that it's a bottle of water. It's been mislabeled.
Grumble, 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 grumble.
So you fidget with it throughout the night, trying to work out stuff, but it's currently evading you. Everybody else,
reminds me to never drink any of Inez's bottles of anything, regardless of what it's labeled.
Don't drink any of Inez's bottles of anything, regardless of what they are labeled.
That's kind of good
common
advice
sense.
So
for
Sorin walks over to Aiden
alchemist
and
ever.
pats him on the shoulder. It's like, thanks, Aiden. Thanks.
No problem. Isn't it good advice, Cubla?
Also hears, don't drink anything that's as it, because vegetables are in them. Thanks, Cubla.
Vegetables?
Yes, vegetables.
Yeah. Do not like baubles.
Vegetables.
Vegeblurps.
Inez, if she could understand, would concede that there are vegetable things.
Yes. So you guys camp out for the night. There's I'm going to say that even though I didn't roll it, one of the things that I have is going to happen. However, it doesn't happen to any of you.
Oh no.
So next time, I will tell Zenra what happened.
Aww.
Oh dear.
Poor Zenra.
Next day, 5th day, right?
Yes.
5th day, morning.
We're at the point where I'm just ignoring the roll because I've got things I need to do, and I've been rolling really low for everything. So you guys pick up camp, and you start out along the way. And...
welcome to the hellhole I'm in for some reason.
Yeah. I'm like, I have things planned. I'm not even going to need the dungeon in a box booklets because I had certain things planned and we haven't been rolling enough. So you guys travel along the road and you're going along and you pass another adventurer. The past couple of days you haven't seen a lot of what you would call adventurers. You know, there hasn't been anybody with the murder hobo vibe. But you pass one person, an average height person in heavy leather armor. It's a human female. She has long hair, but she's braided it back into an intricate braid that she's then wrapped into a bun. And she has a surprisingly large sword. And she's traveling in the same direction you are for now. So you guys kind of notice her coming up. Well, there's the path split at one point. There's two paths joined on their way to Crossroads. And she is coming up the other path, going towards Crossroads. So she's walking along at approximately the same rate you are. Probably a little bit ahead of you. And as you're looking at this lady, there's something about her that is attention-getting for some reason. You can't figure out why. Everybody roll perception or an intelligence roll. I would even take knowledge local.
I was like, okay.
Or I could make an argument for knowledge history.
Can I come out of this hellhole of really bad rolls tonight?
No.
Please?
Well, I was actually hoping for the purple potion.
Me too.
To hit Darvan.
Yeah.
Or our campfire.
Yep.
Purple fire would have been cool. So, Aiden, you're looking at her and you're not sure why you recognize her. Inez, something about her is familiar. You've seen her before, but you're not sure where. Sorin and Cubla, it's when she bends over and picks up a large rock from the side of the road and chucks it off the road that you recognize that particular motion. The last time you saw a person somebody who looked like this, who did that particular throwing motion, the throwing motion was directed at your head.
What?
And the woman was in a wedding dress.
Aww.
As it suddenly comes to you that this is the same woman who was supposed to marry the asshole who went off and got drunk the night before his wedding and forgot.
And tried to hook up with nymphs.
Yes,
yep.
He did try to hook up with nymphs, didn't he? Asshole.
Yep. He was a piece of shit.
You haven't seen her since you guys left the church with her throwing everything and the church candlesticks at you and at the guy. Cubla, you also recognize her.
Cubla goes up to her and it's like, meow, meow, meow.
Darvan just knows that it's somebody that they've met in the past, and he's like, is it the lady who swore a lot? No, that lady was like a short.
No, the lady who swore a lot was a dwarf.
So Darvan and Adin are both like, wait, maybe it was this person. Is it this person?
You're thinking of Earth Trump.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely not him. Well, maybe it was
which also just gave us the entertaining image of Earth Trump in a
wedding.
Inez like you. Inez just points and goes, "I think I know you."
The lady has kind of slowed down because she saw saw Cubla, and when Inez speaks, she comes to a complete stop and turns around and faces you all, looking at you with a little bit of confusion.
And you've just got Adin and Darvan mumbling to each other.
And the confusion changes to recognition. And she's like, "You! I remember you!"
And this is good. She's like, "Good, because I have no idea who."
You're the ones who found my asshole fiance!
Oh! That idiot who thought it would be a great idea to get drunk with nymphs. Yeah, we did
that. Her.
Darvan goes, "Oh, that's it!"
Cubla's just been like, hello.
Inez is.
You look nice, woman.
She reaches down and pets Cubla, scratching behind the ears in a place that feels particularly nice, and pulls out a large chunk of like travel jerky to give to Cubla.
She likes this woman very much.
Oh, it's been a while. It's a surprise to see you out here.
Soren's like, so you were not married.
Oh, hell no.
Good.
We were all in pretty clear agreement that you shouldn't have married him.
Yeah.
After we found him?
It was an arranged marriage. And
it's not so arranged anymore.
Yeah, it's arranged by me to kick him out on his ass. And I decided that I didn't want to chance anything like that happening again, so I actually stole his armor and went out on the... This isn't it! This is something that I've bought since that fits better. But I decided that I would go out on the road instead. Instead of relying on anybody else, I'll go find my own idiot somewhere. But at least it will be one that I choose.
And it reminds me of that comic with this idiot. He's with the knight stuck up in the tree.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she goes, I am sorry. I kind of, if I remember right, I blamed all of you for bringing him because I thought that it was your fault. And I wasn't really willing to listen to anybody.
And it's just like, that's okay. That's most people's reaction to me anyway.
She's like, well, I'm traveling this way for a while. I'm not going all the way to Crossroads. There's actually a city that's coming up pretty soon. I think it's a much smaller city. Only has a few things. It's sort of a on the way point to Crossroads. Or sort of an overflow if all of the inns and crossroads are full. It's about a day and a half outside of the city. And so people could stay there if they need to when the inns are full. But that's actually where I'm headed to, and if you'd like, we could travel together since we're headed the same way anyways. You can tell me what you've been up to, and...
Sure! Why not? Do you like dragons?
I haven't met any. At this point, I would prefer not to meet any because I enjoy being alive.
Inez
that I'm actually doing something exciting.
Inez, wonderful at small talk.
Inez is disappointed and
I
goes,
enjoy dragon stories.
We can tell you a couple, actually.
Yeah.
We've actually taken on a dragon.
Inez just shows her hands and I met a dragon, but she was kind of awesome, so...
I think the majority of dragons are less awesome. At least the ones that are within potential meeting distance here. People try to avoid them because they get eaten otherwise.
There's one less of those.
I have heard that there's smaller ones that are fairy dragons.
I mean, we have a dragon relation with us.
Oh yeah, Zenra has her guard drake.
Where is that drake of Zenra's?
Oh, it's around. It's getting so used to not being with the group that it kind of just avoids the group. It checks in from once in a while.
It checks in for camping so it can get some free food.
So you guys go along.
It's a scout dragon.
Discussing. She's willing to talk about dragons. She just doesn't have a whole lot of experience. There's a few stories that she's heard, some legends.
She said she doesn't like dragons, and Inez is all about them dragons.
No, she's like she's kind of avoided them because she would like to be alive.
Right. Inez runs headlong at all dragons.
So you guys can talk to her. She has been learning. She found somebody to travel with for a while that taught her the basics of sword fighting. And she's picked it up fairly well, but she will probably talk for a while about tactics and maybe even if anybody's willing to spar with her to pause around lunchtime. So, to have a sparring lesson.
Since he's one of the few sword wielders of the group.
If you're going to have a sword fight, your options are to take on Zenra with the great sword or Sorin.
Yep.
She's like, probably him, and points at Sorin.
Because Darvan is not a swords person.
I know, he's got a dagger and a sling.
I've got a dagger and a crossbow.
Yep.
So you guys travel together to the town of Saerenrae. And she actually tells you a little bit about Saerenrae. It's probably the biggest thing about Saerenrae. Other than that, it's a short distance out of Crossroads. But they have a major church chapter there. It's the what should it be called? The Faith of Shar. So that's kind of its second biggest draw. And maybe it's the fact that it's so close to Crossroads that this church sort of established a chapter there. So you have a couple of taverns, a few stores.
Sounds like there might be paladins about.
And it's actually the other thing that has come in that you see wending in the distance, growing ever closer, is there is a very large river. Because there's a river that flows through Crossroads, or next to it. Which is another good reason that a lot of people go there, because there's at least one river that flows past it, so it's easy to get to via river. And
I don't see it being why it's called Crossroads. It's not that it's got 4 major roads crossing it, but it's got 2 major rivers crossing it.
Possibly. So you guys head towards Saerenrae, and she actually tells you what her favorite tavern there is, and will basically introduce you to the innkeeper and get you a bit of a discount once you get there.
Aw.
Adin and Zenra both like taverns.
You travel there with her, pausing at lunch for a sparring match. Give me just a second. Be right back.
While we're in this town, I would like to investigate whether or not there are a ton of paladins here, because that matters.
Well, our DM is currently in the bathroom.
That's fine. I'm still going to leave a perception check.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Sorin gets to go spar with a person.
Oh, Inez, because this is like a major church town, and Inez is feeling very inadequate in her oracleness, and nobody's helping her with it. She's going to do the whole Martin Luther thing and write whatever she thinks the tenets of Asterinian should be, and just stick them on the door. Hey, have you considered dragons?
It's like, I see your religion and I
raise you dragons. Weirdly, this world is going to be aware of dragons as a religion. Whether they convert to it or not is completely irrelevant.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, my perception check is to see if the town is actively full of paladins.
You're not quite there yet. Once Mia gets back, I'm gonna have see how their sparring match turned out.
Okay, I'm just telling you, Inez wants to know, because if she thinks she can not get caught, she's going to write a bunch of "have you considered dragons" ideas on a piece of paper and stick it to the church door.
You don't see, once you get there, you don't see a lot of paladins around.
Cool. Inez will spend time while they're sparring writing out "have you considered dragons."
It's like Martin Luther's
tracks
exactly. That he stuck to the door of the church.
Yep.
Yes, history nerd.
Well, that's exactly what I was thinking when I was like this. Inez is feeling inadequate in her ability to represent her god, so she is going to have you considered dragging the hell out of it.
Now the question is it themed Asterinian, or is it themed the Unborn One?
I will have to think about it. Because Inez technically believes in Asterinian, and she does want to get people to believe in Asterinian, but what she's got so far is belief in the Unborn One.
Sorry.
Let me try that.
Okay, what was that?
Sorry, are we talking to me?
If I remember the religion start right, I think it was something along...
You keep cutting out again.
Newborn avatar...
I mean, I might be able to weave them together.
Yeah.
It's like the second coming of
Asterinian. That's where it
Asterinian.
originally started. I don't remember when we started it though, so I can't check.
Oh, thank God. Sorry.
Is everybody back now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sorin, I want you to roll to see the result of the sparring match.
What am I rolling?
Roll an attack roll.
I'm also laughing because all I'm picturing is like, alright, sparring, and Sorin just kind of flops out a sword because he's got the glove.
So, I rolled a nat 20.
Oh my God.
You guys take up positions, and she goes, okay, remember, I haven't been fighting for very long.
Oh my God.
And you're like, alright, begin. And then it's like 5 seconds later, your sword is on the ground.
And Sorin's just like, eh.
So what you're saying is...
Sword is just a really crappy sword fight.
What I was gonna go with
rolled really well.
Not really. That wouldn't hit like 3/4 of the enemies that we fight.
Yeah, it would.
It's an 18.
Yeah, I've rolled that well before, and it's been like, nah, that doesn't hit.
That's because you were aiming for the things that actually had really high dexterity, mostly.
So what you're saying is, with a little more time, this girl will be the Alana of the world.
Essentially.
Yep.
She's got natural talent that has been... partly Sorin wasn't expecting it, and partly she's just picked it up really fast. So she kind of just caught you off guard. And she kind of chuckles and she's like, sorry, I kind of played you a little. And you guys continue on, and it normalizes out, and you guys are probably at about... You're slightly better than she is. But she is learning quick. Even as you guys spar, she picks up some of your moves and figures out how to counter them.
Well, Sorin probably also explains them as he fights.
So you guys spar for a short time, then pack it up and head along to... What did I call the place?
Saerenrae.
Saerenrae. She separates from you because she's got some business, but she tells you which tavern to go to. And she's like, okay, it looks like it's going to be a dive. It's the... Look for the signpost. And I promise you, it's better than it looks. The signpost has a caricature of a severed, bloodied foot, wrapped in bandages. But I promise you,
there has to be a story behind that.
It's better than it looks. And then she, it says that she'll password on to the tavern keeper. She's not sure if she'll see you again here. Depending on what she finds out, she may have to leave shortly. But if you do not meet again, she wishes you good luck in your endeavors. And she's like, you're going to Crossroads, right? I may head that way next, so I'll keep an eye out for you. So you guys are in the city of Saerenrae.
Woo!
There are not lots of paladins around.
Okay. I will continue writing my thing.
It's a small to medium-sized town.
Valid.
If it weren't for the river, it would probably not exist. Between the river and Crossroads, those are the two things that are keeping the city alive. The river's pretty busy. For a river, every hour or so you see at least one boat going past, sometimes more.
To be fair, this is a river that leads to Crossroads.
Yes. Some of them stop in briefly. The docks area is much larger than you would expect from a town of this size. But that's because it's close to Crossroads. Because using the river, it's probably only an hour or two to Crossroads, as opposed to the day or so.
Right.
By foot.
Might be 2 hours when you factor in going against current if you had to.
Right.
It's actually downstream to go to Crossroads.
Which is why the city exists.
Yeah. So, Inez, you are writing your 95 dragon theses?
Yep, I am. Give me 2 seconds here. I'm not actually going to write 95 dragon theses, but she is going to write essentially a pamphlet that says, "But have you considered dragons?"
Do you have a moment of your time to talk about our Lord and Savior, dragons?
watch out for another pamphlet from the same people, from the same company. Dragons, why you should not fear them, for they are wonderful.
Yep, and
untruths about dragons. They do not use you as toothpicks, as proven by science asterisk.
Yep.
Actual science was not involved in this discovery.
No science was harmed in the creation of this
pamphlet.
No, I don't think she'd quite be that way, but she...
Adin looks...
I think she's also going to start signing everything the Priestess of the Unborn one, just to confuse everything.
Just because it's a useful pseudonym.
Yep.
Also, Adin, Cubla is very excited to have somebody new to talk to while traveling. Just to let you know.
Adin actually doesn't mind. He actually visits with Cubla.
She is so excited. She has been so tired of talking only to...
Cat understands cat now.
Why isn't this a normal thing?
Why could you not understand feline?
Because I'm not a cat.
I thought all cats spoke feline.
I'm not actually a cat.
What? No, you're a cat. Starts listing off the reasons.
And so she's got you there.
Honestly, Sorin, or honestly, Adin, you know.
Sorin's just happy that he can walk along quietly for a while. Okay.
As quietly as walking along with Cubla chattering with Adin.
Yep.
But he can tune her out. If he tries to tune Cubla out when she's talking to him, after a while it goes, hey, 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 you're not listening. Hey, 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 hey.
Hey, 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 listen. Hey, hey, listen.
Pretty much, yep. So you guys are in the city of Saerenrae. You guys pretty easily find the tavern that she spoke of. You guys, at some point, you might want to check in and make sure that you get rooms before they sell out. It's less likely right now because it's the mid-season for Crossroads.
Adin steps in anyways.
Inside, it's a fairly empty tavern. The innkeeper is cleaning the tables, which is a good sign. A lot of places don't even do that. And she looks up and goes, "Oh, greetings. How late is it?" It's still just
midday. It's midday.
Okay. I was concerned I'd lost track of time. How may I help you? She's dragging her hands off as she comes over to speak with you.
A friend of ours said they were coming over to tell you about a group of adventurers, I believe.
Oh, yes. And you know what? I'm kind of tempted. Alana did stop past. Told me to expect you. You're the group that found her asshole almost husband, right?
Yeah. Drunk in the forest, half naked, trying to woo nymphs.
I'm not surprised from what I've heard of him. How you wanted to?
A little bit of fun. I just want to see if we've heard any new rumors of him.
Of asshole husband?
Yes.
Almost husband? No. Not in this area. Maybe if you went back to the area where you had been. I don't even remember which city that was at the moment. But you haven't heard anything.
Okay.
She definitely agrees to reserve a few rooms for you guys. She'll give them to you for a quarter off the price.
Wonderful.
And she's actually in the lower portion of her prices, so it's about half the price it would be at peak market time for Saerenrae.
Wonderful. I knew it was a good idea to stop in early.
We'll say a couple of gold per person. And that includes 1 meal per day.
Well,
So-
they're probably going to leave the next day anyway, aren't they?
Yeah.
Head to Crossroads.
Your rooms are reserved.
Alright, and Aiden
For
just
the
takes the time and plops. It gives her the gold.
She thanks you and tucks it into her pouch, and says that their rooms will be ready in an hour or so.
Aiden steps back outside. Aiden goes, hey guys, come on inside for a minute.
Is Inez off posting?
Yes.
Wow.
Oh, I totally lifted this and made it work.
But Aiden calls him in so before he asks her what the story behind the sign is.
Inez is doing her own thing, thank you.
Yes.
Inez is off. Inez doesn't come in, and nobody has seen Inez. She came in, looked around, looked thoughtful, and disappeared.
Yep, because that always bodes well.
Let me think for a minute.
It's just glorious to read.
Is it though? I'm so proud of it.
I mean, you don't have to actually make a story. It's just this is Aiden. He will ask these kinds of questions.
She tells you an entertaining story that involves several people, several bandits coming to her establishment, a floor covered with nails, some tarantulas, and a purple hat.
So she just told a story of a noodle incident with noodle implements.
Yes. Yes, very much so.
Because that was the most noodle implementy list I've ever heard.
Essentially, it's how she drove off a group of bandits.
By herself.
By herself. Well,
Aiden
there were people staying at the tavern, but she had them go upstairs because she could handle it herself. I think that Alana was there with her, and the two of them managed to come up with this Home Alone-esque way to drive the bandits off. And the story has been passed around, has become kind of famous around here. So they used to be called the Golden Fawn, but now there's various names that she liked the sounds of all of them. So she just chose this image because it embodied several of the names, and so it's been called the Bandit's Foot. It's been called the Bloody Heel. It's got a lot of different names.
Is that why the foot has a purple hat on the sign?
Yes.
Okay, that was actually going to be my next question. We didn't have that addressed, so...
Yes. So, she tells you this story, and it is a fascinating story. She tells you, I'll have... Your rooms will be ready in about an hour. Your gold buys either a meal here, or you get a token that you can use at one of the nearby places. I just got a new chef. I don't think I'll keep him around for long. If you like things to not be salty, I suggest you go elsewhere. If you want to up your salt quota for the day, feel free to stick around.
That's fantastic.
So what you're saying
I'm not
is
here.
Your chef would be a perfect fit on Gordon Ramsay kitchen nightmares.
Yes.
You're saying Sorin cooks better than...
Yes.
But that's not hard.
What's the famous line with the sandwich?
What are you?
Yeah.
So what you're saying is this guy is one of those chefs, and Sorin is Gordon Ramsay.
Yes, the lamb sauce is very salty when it exists. So you guys, your rooms aren't ready yet, so you can kill some time. Go find food, look around town. There's a number of religious people.
I'm just gonna drop like 20 coins off that, or something. Or how many gold coins should I drop for paying for that?
It was 2 per person.
And Cubla probably doesn't count.
Yeah, no, Cubla doesn't count.
Let's see. Sorin, Adin, Inez, Saerenrae, Darvan. Cool.
You can eat at the inn, or you can find somewhere else. The one thing you do notice about the town is the same symbol that's on the front door of the chapter house of the Faith of Shar. Many people have pins that they wear with the brooches and pins that they wear with the same symbol. Inez, you successfully... Well, roll me a stealth check.
Okay.
Adin has no clue.
Hypothetically, this should be good for...
Nah, one incoming.
Shut up. I've had such a bad night that honestly, like, it doesn't matter in terms of my skill. Ha!
Okay, so you successfully post your paper on the door of the chapter house without anybody seeing. Do you stick around to see what happens?
I mean... Yes.
Some people just want to watch the world burn.
So
It's positive chaos.
let me roll to see if it's somebody from the inside coming out who finds it, or somebody from the outside going in that finds it. So the door opens, and somebody who obviously looks like a priest comes out.
Mhm.
He closes the door behind him and turns to go. When he notices the paper from the corner of his eye, he pulls it off, takes a look at it, kind of grimaces a little bit, balls it up, and throws it away before going on his way through the town.
Inez gets unhappy and goes promptly to write more pamphlets.
She could probably go get that one and
Yeah, but
unfold it.
True, but she is now going to...
She won't post it up because now she has a crumpled one that she can reference to rewrite it.
Exactly. And so now Inez will rewrite, but because he was mean, she's going to rewrite dozens of them and stay up all night posting them all over town.
That's exactly what I expected. So that's what you do for the rest of the evening.
Yep.
Eventually, you guys all end up back in the tavern.
Has
I also
seen
want to...
Ines?
I also want to say that Inez is probably going to sleep in the forest because she knows that all of her party members know who she is.
Okay.
Has anybody seen Ines? I bought her a room and she hasn't shown up yet.
Everybody roll perception unless you decided to eat at the inn.
Adin does not need more salt, so... Because they've been eating a lot of jerky on the rations, so...
Damn! Damn! Okay. Sorin
Cubla.
and Adin, not only do you not see Inez as she's going around stomping and pinning papers to everywhere, you don't even notice the papers. And you go into the wrong places to try and get dinner. So you hit like 3 of the places that don't accept the token before you find some place that does. Darvan is just going along with you, and every time he's like, I don't think they take it. I don't think they take it either. Cubla.
Is that why he doesn't notice the papers either?
Yeah, he doesn't notice the papers either. Cubla, you're just enthralled because it's like, you know, in the Scooby-Doo things where they're going in and out of hallways and they just keep missing each other?
Yep.
This is happening with your group and Inez. So you're just like...
Just everyone's still going, hi, Inez.
You're just like, Human! It's small Human!
But Adin and Sorin, being as distracted as they are, don't even hear Cubla.
No, they're arguing with Darvan. No, I think it's here. And it's like, cat, 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 cat.
Human.
Human.
Stop, Human. I know you can't even understand me, but stop, Human.
Darvan notices you, Cubla, but just like pats you on the head and goes back to arguing with the other two.
Follows small human.
It's like angrily pouting, tails like whipping back and forth, and just utter irritation.
He was his tail back and forth. He was his tail back. Sorry.
So you guys eat, and then you head back to the inn where your rooms are prepared. At that point, Adin, do you go... Has anybody seen Inez?
Has anybody seen Inez lately?
I did!
Cubla has.
When?
I'm not going to tell you because you are puffy pout in the corner.
About 18 times during the night.
Wow. And so I got away with it after all of this.
So you guys...
Every once in a while you look at Cubla and her tail, tip of the tail is just like flicking.
You guys are in the
Sorin,
tavern.
you can have the cat.
One of the things that is included with your meal is a couple of drinks. And she says that since you guys chose not to eat here, you can still have the drinks. So she's let you have your choice of drinks for the evening before you go to bed. While you are there, well, a couple of things that you notice now that you're actually sitting in there. The tavern keep needs to get some better tables. They're a little cheap. I think she tends to spend her money on the alcohol. It's very nice alcohol served in rather cheap cups. The light is fairly dim. And now that it's evening, the tavern room is fairly full. There's a very distinct smell of pipe smoke because a number of people are smoking while they're talking and drinking, and all those sorts of things.
Is our group sitting at a darker table?
You're in like the corner of the tavern room. And drinking and talking, and Cubla is growling at you every so often. And Cubla, you notice something suddenly.
Huh?
You notice the door opens and then closes.
Huh?
And something short and small scurries in, looking around, and then hides under the group's table.
After that point, for timing. Hey, Darvan? It's really dark over here. Could I have one of your rocks?
Darvan passes over one of his... You mean like his slingshot rocks?
Just like one of the ones you use with a sling. I was just gonna cast light so we can be able to see each other's faces over here.
Okay, he does so.
Adin just casts a light spell so they can see each other's faces.
Cubla.
Because that lets them discuss what their plan's easier too.
Underneath the table, there is a young girl. She is quite dirty. I mean, actually, really dirty. Clothes are pretty simple. She looks really tired. Her eyes are wide and filled with fear. In fact, Cubla, as you sniff, she smells kind of like a sewer pipe. And she's hiding under the table. Everybody else roll a perception check.
Sorin, you didn't roll a 1. I am impressed.
From my campaign outside, I sense a disturbance in the forest.
You're out in the forest. It's kind of dark. You're by yourself. Maybe this wasn't a good idea. Who knows?
Disturbance in the forest!
Everybody comes to realize, in part because you notice Cubla staring intently under the table.
I'm no longer growling softly.
There's a girl under your table. As she realizes that you see her, she goes, "Please help me! They're after me! I'm being chased by monsters!" And we're gonna stop there for the night.
Okay.
Aww.
That's a
Welcome
cliffhanger.
to your next module.
Monsters! That was an uneventful 7 days, despite the fact that it was 7.
You've only traveled for 5 days. Crossroads was not your actual destination. You're gonna get there, but I wanted to not do the thing where you have your travel montage and you get there and you start your next module. I wanted to start your next section mid-travel, so that you weren't expecting it.
I was expecting it.
I was not expecting it. I was having way too much fun with my religious pamphlets.
Yeah.
Was it because I had too much description and actual namages?
Yes.
Yeah. I thought that might be a clue. Anyways, so...
I'm pretty perceptive of that kind of thing.
Next time we'll begin the next part of it. I hope you enjoyed your travel montage, and that it was as much fun as some of the other ones. It's hard to live up to ye old Hall of Hero History Hall.
I wasn't
eventful.
It was very fun.
I actually was going to try and have your fortunes ready for you for tonight, but then it got busy at work. I have them partially written out. I tried to make them sound as fortune cookie as possible.
Oh, okay.
So it sounds like stuff I tell some of my friends when they're being stupid.
Yeah. So, but I'm also throwing in things that will actually mean things in the future.
Awesome.
I tried to have some callbacks, because it's always fun when things from the past come up again.
Yep.
Like the now named Alana.
Yep.
Anyways, so I hope that was entertaining. And we have a travel montage recorded! Yay!
We do!
Maybe she'll end up with a magic sword.
Maybe. Who knows? I hope you guys enjoyed it. The things that I actually had prepared out of all that happened, the lucky horseshoe was from the Overland travel deck. I planned on having a callback montage. I was trying to decide if I wanted to be the box people or the marriage. I knew that I was going to have the lead-in to the adventure, the next module, and the thing that happened that you guys don't know about yet are the only things that I had planned.
Valid.
And now we have 2 people who can understand the cat.
We do.
Yep.
Luckily for Cubla, it's probably the 2 people. It's probably the 2 people who understand Cubla, other 2 who won't go crazy listening to Cubla.
There will be one more. The next is probably going to go to Darvan.
I don't know. Inez likes Cubla. They just cause too much trouble when left alone together.
That's why we don't leave them alone together.
I'm kind of surprised that Cubla didn't go give it to Darvan, because then I can tell him not to hit me with his stupid stuff.
Well, they kind of reacted before Cubla could say anything.
Yep.
I also was not sure why they were waving around this. It's like, is it food? Is that why you're so excited? Suddenly, Cat was like, "Oh, I can hear you," and she's like, "Wah! Cat!
Let me talk to you for forever." Okay, that is where we're stopping for tonight.
Wonderful.
I am going to stop the recording now. Say goodbye,
Goodbye, world.
Bye, world.
Bye, world.